this special Dead on Dave live viewer questions with Ask Andre Corbeil featuring the Brian Hebner is brought to you by WrestleCrate.co.uk. Use promo code Dead on Dave to save 10% off your first WrestleCrate.
Real talk, the Metaphor Messiah, man. I got this one. Let's go. You ever seen the morning star? Mr. Metaphor Messiah, back to show you who we are. I represent a legacy, a pothead like the 70s, a different kind of mind. They say we only speak in melodies.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dead on Dave coming at you live from Germany. And momentarily, we're going to be bringing you something brand new here to Dead on Dave Productions, a live interview with the men that you see on screen, the one and only Brian Hebner of Impact Wrestling fame, of course, the son of legendary referee, arguably the greatest ref of all time, Earl Hebner. So we got a lot to talk about. It's going to be great. We're going to be joined by Andre Corbeil in just a few moments as well. Let's bring that man in right now, and then Brian will be along in just a few moments. So here's how it's going to work tonight, guys. Because of some technological difficulties, what we're going to do is take all of your questions that you have for Brian. We're going to take them here in the chat on YouTube, as well as go into my Discord, which is the link is in the description box. Go into my Discord and go to the text channel Brian Hebner Wrestling Questions and post all of your questions there, and we will get to them. And I don't do this on my own because, of course, this is called Ask Andre. So we got the one and only Andre Corbeil with us. What's going on, my friend?
How you doing, Dead on Dave?
We're doing fantastically. I love that you have glasses on, but no one can see you, so it doesn't matter. You look great, though.
I don't want to look at the raccoon marks around these eyes.
You don't want to see them, even if it's just you looking at, hey, I don't blame you at all, man. So we've got ourselves a little bit of extra fun going on tonight. This isn't just your standard Ask Andre Live. No. We've got your friend and good buddy and current Impact Wrestling referee, the Brian Hebner, on the show tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, Brian's a good guy, and I'm sure he'll get to answering every single fan question that comes in on this episode of Ask Andre right here at Dead on Dave.
That's right. It's going to be a good stuff. We got already some questions funneling in, and Brian will be along in just a moment. So in the meantime, my friend, we have Elimination Chamber tonight. So you and I both did our prediction shows, not only on your channel, on Vince Russo's channel, but I did mine as well. Anything change going into Elimination Chamber? Any final thoughts on that, given that we're just a couple hours away?
No, I'm sticking with my predictions. I don't have any changes. It's never been one of the WWE pay-per-views that interested me, but whatever.
No, I get you. I think this is going to be a marginal letdown in a lot of ways. The thing is, with the SmackDown pay-per-views, they've all been good. They've all been pretty damn good, even with minimal or bad build. So I'm expecting a surprisingly good show tonight, but I think the most surprising thing is not even a surprise anymore, and that being Bray Wyatt is walking out with the title tonight. I don't think it's a surprise. I don't think it's a shock. What was that?
Nothing. I was scratching my leg.
I thought you said something. Yeah. It's not a shock to me anymore. It's not a surprise. The second Randy Orton won the Royal Rumble, it became very apparent what direction they were going. I'm okay with it. It's long overdue, but I'm just wondering if it is too long overdue. What do you think about that? The prospect of Bray Wyatt walking out as champion tonight?
I was the lone wolf on the Andre Corbeil show that did not choose Bray Wyatt to win tonight.
Are you sticking with that?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with it.
I hope you're not putting any money on it.
No.
I hope not, because I think you would be financially disappointed because
It's like that guy like that guy that plays pro line and bets on his team.
yeah.
Now, this the secret to pro line is not betting on your home team, because it kind of pulls you this way, it kind of pulls you that way, and gets you off course.
It
So it's
does.
never good to get to bet on the home team.
Well, yeah, I think typically it's not a good idea to bet on wrestling, but wrestling has been so weird. The last 6, 7 months, the betting lines have been 100% perfect. There has not been an anomaly, anything going away from the favorites. The favorites have been completely locked in, and Bray Wyatt right now is a huge,
Huge favorite. Yeah.
huge favorite. Yes.
Would they call it Las Vegas?
The Las Vegas. Okay, I think Brian tried. He just left a voicemail. I didn't see it. Oh, there he is. All right, let's bring him in now. Joining us now live is the one and only current Impact Wrestling referee, Brian Hebner. How you doing, Brian? Thanks for joining us right here on Dead on Day Productions.
I'm doing good, man. How are you guys tonight?
Outstanding. Better now, my friend. Of course, Andre Corbeil is here joining us as well, and we got a lot to get to. I know that this is a big night for a lot of people, but I mean, this is going to be a lot of fun. So thank you so much for joining us, man.
No problem at all, man. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. I know Andre and I both have questions for you, and the chat's already starting to generate some as well. So we'll go ahead and start with this. I got a bunch of things because I'm crazy. And it's something you're going to learn about me really quick. I'm absolutely insane, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a curse and a gift. So let me ask you this. I found out through my copious amounts of research that you have a nickname, and I have to start with the most important thing. Is it true that your nickname is the Human Beatbox?
Yeah, man. I mean, I've been called that now in the industry for, I don't know, for quite a while now. I did a couple of things in the WWE when I was there with doing some beatboxing for Funaki and John Cena, Spanky, and of course it all started backstage and ended up on the big stage. So yeah, they call me that.
Is it something that has followed you throughout the years? Complete. I mean, even now, currently with Impact Wrestling, is it still something that goes on backstage, or is it something you kind of wish would die by the wayside?
I mean, it's kind of cool because, the things that I did do with it was pretty cool. I liked it a lot. I thought the guys involved did a really good job, and, it was really neat. But now, no, I mean, it's a different world. Nobody wants to hear me beatbox anymore, I don't think. I mean, unless the fans do. If that's cool, then, maybe they'll do something. But otherwise, I don't think the boys give two shits,
I'm sure. I'm sure.
You know what, Brian? I'm not going to let you get away and slip away without doing at least a little demonstration for the viewers tuning in right now.
Oh boy! All right.
Hey.
Well, I'll do something really small, nothing big. I'm actually a little under the weather today. I don't know what's up with that, but anyway, I'll give you a little sample.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Let's give him a round of applause on that. That's fantastic. I mean, that is some top-notch entertainment that you're just not going to get anywhere else. Thank you, Brian, for acquiescing that ridiculous request.
Oh, not a problem. Now let me get a sip of my beer.
I don't blame you there at all. I'm in Germany. It's always beer 30 here. Not a problem.
Now, I've got a question
go ahead,
for you, Brian. After watching this past Thursday's Impact on Pop main event match and the shocker worldwide to the Wolves Nation, explain to the viewers how hard it is to keep everyone in line in order to keep the law in the ring. Now, what happened this week with the implosion of the Wolves was definitely a shocker, for example, and let the fans know how Brian Hebner holds the law in the ring.
Well, a lot of things that fans would really get really pissed about if I didn't do the things that they get pissed about. It's a double-edged sword here. In a main event match, you want to kind of let things play out without ruining it. In other words, without just throwing a match out and being a little more lenient and letting what's on the line be on the line. You know what I mean? Like, in other words, you have to, if I'm doing a regular match, you know, hey, you know, you don't break it foul, I'm going to DQ. That's just the way it goes. But, you know, your world title match, main event, TV, people are, you know, everybody's tuning in, and you got to let things play out a little bit. So you have to be a little lenient. And then, of course, when the things that I let lenient are not for the people that wanted it to happen that way, of course, they get pissed at me. But if I was to just DQ it, of course they'd be mad. You know what I mean? So it's a double-edged sword. But it was a lot going on, man, in that match. It was really difficult to stay with everything. I am only one person. I did actually go back and watch everything again. And, hey, things happen.
Definitely. I think that was one of the better heel turns in the company that has been presented to the fans in quite some time, as a matter of fact.
I agree.
It was done really well.
Man. Set up very well.
I thought it was a pretty well done heel turn as well. It was. I thought a little bit. You see it coming a little bit. Sometimes you kind of worry that and this was a little bit of criticism that I saw, and in fact, I'm not going to lie, I gave it a little bit myself, that it kind of felt like Edwards' title run was just basically to get to this heel turn. Do you think that's a fair criticism at all?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know that for sure, but I mean, if I'm looking at it the way you are, it may be a way that they were thinking to elevate him to another level, which would elevate both of them. Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, to me, that's ingenious. That's great booking. If that's indeed the way they did it. Yeah. And like I say, I'm honestly, you know, I don't know that, but it makes sense to me. Why not? You know, the guy works hard. He's been a 100% TNA guy ever since he, you know, signed with us. And hey, he's a good talent, and to put it on him, who people were behind, not a bad thing. And like I said, I think it helps elevate him. And now his new storyline going on with Davey elevates both of them at this point.
I think that's a fair. I think it's a very fair point.
And I think with this feud with story and the other story,
you broke up a little bit there, Andre. I'm sorry, buddy.
What was that?
You broke up a little bit there. You want to go ahead and repeat that?
Okay. Now, Brian, I think this storyline has roots. Unlike a lot of storylines that are pushed towards the audience, I think it made a lot of sense. I think that they can really have a long, extended feud, either to Slammiversary, which I think would be the optimal time for the blow-off, or even if they really want to stretch the feud out, Bound for Glory. Yeah,
I'm a big firm believer, man, in building a program for a period of time. And wrestling today, in all facets, not just us, not just them, not just the others. I mean, it's just, I think that, you know, sometimes we as wrestling companies rush storylines that could actually have value and interest to people. And if we make them interested in it for a long period of time, the payoff is even bigger. And so I think that, you know, any program given time can be one that people remember, one that they talk about, and it's something that is actually important, you know. And if you rush things, sometimes people just kind of lose interest in the whole deal, and it's forgot about. And we've been guilty of that, and everybody has. You know what I mean? I think that's the way it is now because of the short attention spans of people today, because of all these other reasons, you know. But I just think that a long story is something that could be good.
Yeah, I think that's become kind of commonplace now with micro programming. I like to talk about it because nobody really has an attention span. I think it's important to get it right this time because this does seem to be an important feud coming off of, you know, a title run, a decent, not a long, overly long title run by Edwards, but a decent title run. And going back to Lashley, you kind of have to get this right. So yeah, I agree with you. I think this should be a stretched out feud with a really big payoff at a major pay-per-view. I think it would be good for all parties involved.
I do too. I just think that's really something that the business needs, and our company in particular could use something really, really noteworthy and push-worthy to help get new viewers and things like that.
Okay. And we go to Wrestling 101, Brian, the 4-month build before the blow-off. I think that changed with the 12 pay-per-view a year program, where 30 days blow off, 30 days blow off. If you go to classic wrestling booking, a 4-month storyline to a year, we're generally the way they would build the top feuds in the industry. And with the 12 pay-per-views, and even more so now with the brand split in World Wrestling Entertainment, I don't see it changing anytime soon. the fans not being accustomed to the 30-day build, blow off, 30-day build, blow off, 30-day build, blow off.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. To me, people may look at this different, but to me, the lesser amount of pay-per-views that we have. All right, now we know we have our one night onlys, which are every month, but we also have our. At this point, I guess I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's 4 main ones now. At this point, there's no problem building to those 4 big ones. In other words, you don't have to do 30 days because 30 days is our next pay-per-view. Then you got another one. Then you got another one. Yeah, you can't continue to run like that. So I kind of get what you're saying, but for us, we're different. So we can actually do something now and build it to Bound for Glory. And you're talking about what at this point would be almost 6 months.
Yeah, it would be.
And that's a great point he brought up. That's a great point he brought up, Dave. TNA is not relegated to that 30-day blow-off system.
No, they're in a completely different, I mean, not only business model, but as far as pay-per-view model, it's completely different. And I think that for what they are able to do, I think it kind of lends a lot of booking ability, being able to go back to traditional booking like Brian was just talking about. I think that's something that is missing. And if done right, it's beautiful. It's something that we do not have enough with.
I absolutely agree, David.
I think of the Jake the Snake Roberts Ultimate Warrior feud and the time it took to build that up. It just, if it didn't have that 4-month window to build all of that, would the fans really have been invested as they were?
Oh, I guess it's like to say this in my opinion only. But to me, the younger generation. I'm going to say they're going to be completely not totally into it. But you get guys that are my age, you guys' age, and that are old school wrestling fans and true fans of this industry. We're going to love it. So if I were to break it down by age span, you talk about 35 and older. I think you could get them into it. 35 and younger, I'm kind of leaning with that may be too long. But I mean, you got to figure out who your audience is, where your audience demo is. And I mean, the last time I checked, which has been a long time ago, I think our demo is pretty older, like 42, 43.
Well, let me ask you, because that's kind of a hot topic right now in wrestling, is where the money demographic is. It seems like WWE has really gone to the younger audience, the 8 to 15-year-olds, and that's why we're getting the Roman Reigns and all the kind of more colorful characters and such like that. The New Day and things like that. While it does seem like TNA, Ring of Honor, some of the others are still trying to go solely to the smart crowd, for lack of a better term, the smarter wrestling fan, the older wrestling fan, the diehards. Do you think that over time is the better way to go? Or what do you think about the WWE's constant pushing to a younger audience? Because, I mean, that's how we build new wrestling fans, is by going after the kids. Like the smoking industry, hook them while they're young. What do you think of that? Or should wrestling organizations gear more towards the hardcores?
Well, it's a tough question, and I'm being completely honest when I say this. WWE, they can say they're geared towards younger children, but I totally disagree.
Really?
Do they do things that? Yeah, I do. Do they do things that gear them towards them? Absolutely. But I actually have been able to sit around and watch a little bit of their product lately. And I mean, it's only appropriate for them when they're wanting to do certain things.
That's true.
Because there's other storylines that are way more aggressive than ours. And I'm like, wait a minute now, this is a PG-13 show, or what is the show? You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that they're...
Enzo Rusev Lana.
I mean, all that. I mean, like, that was crazy. And I actually saw that. I'm like, wait a minute. Now, I'm not imagining it. I have kids. All right, to me, that's not directed towards my kid.
No, I agree with that.
I'm not letting my kid watch it.
It seems like WWE is trying to throw a couple of storylines out there that are geared more towards older audiences. But as far as they don't really try to build storylines that are going to placate the hardcores. You know what I mean? Kind of like what you guys are doing down there in Impact. It's a little bit different of a story. It's an interesting thing. It seems to be the most hot button thing that all of us talking douchebags are bringing out every single day, is like, where's the demographic? Where's the money at? That seems to be the big question at the moment.
Yeah, and another thought process, and like I said, I'm not a booker. I never will be a booker. I don't have enough money to be booking anything. But but think about what's your guarantee. You know, what's your guarantee as a wrestling company? You're hardcore fans. That's your guarantee. You can't guarantee shit to people that are 18 years old. You can only hope. So if you run off your hardcore people, then what are you going to have?
No, good point. Very good point. Yeah, I mean, you want to always have that base. No, you're right.
No, you won't. So you have to continually sell to your base, but you can go other directions with other storylines, which is exactly what WWE is doing. Yeah. So they're gearing towards their 18 and younger, or whatever their demo is they're trying to get. I don't know. All I'm saying is it's not just a kids show. I mean, that's
agree
ridiculous,
with that.
And it's not. And it's not just geared towards kids. That's ridiculous also. And I know that hour to hour can change. You know, from 8 to 9, obviously that's probably when you get your kids stuff in, I would think. Yes. 9 to 10, that's when you're getting a little more risque, and then 10 to 11, that's when you just let it loose. I get all that. I mean, I'm not stupid. I'm just saying, but somebody say, oh, well, they're so going to your kids, and that's why they want their T-shirts on. I don't agree. I don't agree.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Let me switch gears a little bit on you, just a little bit, because obviously you have a rich family history with the business. I mean, with obviously your uncle Dave being a referee and in the industry, and of course your father being widely considered the greatest referee of all time. I want to ask you, it can't be an easy shadow to be in, let alone willingly walk into. So was it an easy decision to become a pro wrestling referee? How did that come about? It's very fascinating to me.
Actually, to be honest with you, it was everything and anything I ever wanted to do. I was a very athletic kid growing up in high school. I was a very good baseball player. I would say was my strong sport. I was really good at basketball, and I was actually really good at golf at one time. And I figured out that golf was funner when you were drinking. But no, I just the thing is, you know, I had actually some scholarships thrown at me. And I did not know college on purpose. I knew anything I was going to do. And that time and my uncle. It was just something that I knew Brian Hebner was going to do, and it's what I wanted to do. And, you know, I'm a blessed individual because it is what I'm doing. And I mean, a lot of people can make a mistake and throw a scholarship away, which I'd never, ever recommend, and still wouldn't recommend to do that if you had a spot maybe. But no, I mean, it was always what I wanted to do. And living in the shadow was actually really hard at first for me for a while. I didn't actually know if it was going to pan out or not. Just so many expectations, and so many people treated you differently because you're there because of, you know, your dad's this, your dad's that.
Right.
And you know, so I had to, and my dad did it smart. You know, once I finally was able to get onto WWE TV, he split us to where we weren't together at all. So I was on SmackDown, he was on Raw. So there was no daddy, he's going to do this for you, daddy's going to do that.
Yeah, to stand on your own.
And then I just made and so I made my own bed, and I'm laying in it, dude. So I'm good.
I think you're doing pretty damn well. It's a tough thing because, I mean, essentially you're in the Michael Jordan child situation. I mean, your dad he's it. I mean, he's the first guy to ever he's the first referee to ever get in a Wrestling Hall of Fame. I'm sure he will also get into the WWE Hall of Fame as well at some point. I don't know how you can have a Hall of Fame and not have Earl Hebner in there. And it's the same thing. I mean, he is the greatest to ever do it, just like Michael was the greatest to ever do it. His kids tried to get into basketball. Didn't work out as well. You're carving your own path. And there's a lot to be said for that. That is very difficult to do. So, I mean, is that something you have to struggle with every single day? It seems like it would be very difficult.
You know what? No, because over time and over years, I've become very, very confident in my abilities. I know that we're different referees. I know that. And that's in a good way, not in a bad way. And I know there's very many similarities. And I just know that, and I tell people this all the time, and I really mean it with all my heart. Whether it's the way it goes down or not when I'm done, I don't know. But I don't want to be known as just, you know, Brian Hebner Earl's son.
Right.
I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of my dad. I'm very proud of my uncle, and I'm very proud of myself and what we've all three done in this business. And I want to continue to make more memories, and I want to continue to make, you know, the evolving change of refereeing and go with it for many, many, many more years. But when I'm done, I want everybody to go, that's Earl's son, but that's Brian Hebner. You know what? He might have been better than his dad. Or Brian Hebner, oh yeah, he was a great referee. Wasn't his dad Earl? Not just, oh yeah, that was Brian Hebner. Earl's son.
Earl's going to be the afterthought when Brian Hebner's done. I like that.
And you know what? You know what, Brian? You have the smoothest 1, 2, 3 count in the business, and I challenge anybody to debunk that statement that I just put out there.
Oh, it's not quite Nick Patrick-esque, but yeah, I mean,
Oh,
Nick
boy.
Patrick used to lay
the
down
worst,
on his
the
side.
worst.
Nick Patrick
God
used to
bless him.
lay down on his side and count.
He would have the full
Yeah.
overhead swim move count as well. That was unique.
Now,
But,
speaking
but
of your dad,
you know what
Brian,
though? You know what though? I appreciate that. Like, you have no idea. Like, that's like telling Michael Jordan he has the prettiest jumper. And I really, really appreciate that. But I want you to know, man, so you know, that that's something that I've worked on for so many years. I was trained by my dad, obviously, and I didn't like the way he counted. I didn't. I thought it was good. I thought it was good. But I thought I could be better. I thought I could make it better. And I just think that, you know, when I train referees now, I did one out in Portland. I did a clinic out in Portland. And the guys were amazed at the reason why my count is like that, because the explanation is actually more mind-boggling than the actual you seeing it. It's just there's a reason why I do what I do as far as that goes, and it works. It works. And I can tell you right now, there's one guy in the industry that will never disagree with you, and that's Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle loved him some Baby Hebner, man. Loved him some Baby Hebner, and loved me selling his stuff.
Andre, you broke up on me. You still there, buddy?
I'm still here.
Hello?
She's bringing me too.
Okay, Andre broke up a little bit. Andre, you still there, man?
yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. I know you were about to say something. Please go ahead.
Yeah, the thing I like so much about your count, Brian, is that your hand never hits the same spot. It's
Never
almost
does,
like you
yeah.
do a quarter crawl from 1 to 2 to 3. So your hand is moving forward each time, 2 inches or whatnot. But it's so smooth the way you do it.
Well, just without getting into a big, elongated story about it, just remember this. Like, the reason why that's done is because you're trained as a referee properly, that when you go down the count, you start at their head, because when you go at their head, you can see both sides of their shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
So when I start my count, and you're right, I do push away each count. And the reason why I do that is because I open up for the camera angles, and cameras can get in there and get tighter shots.
Ah.
Well, that's interesting. You'll see a lot
And
of
this is all by
referees
design.
nowadays kind of try to hit the exact same spot every time, and I think that's something that this never gets talked about. By the way, this never gets talked about. It's certainly not enough, but it's true. I see a lot of the guys, especially in WWE, where they're bringing in constantly new guys a lot now. You'll see a lot of them kind of hit the exact same spot each and every single time. And that's not how it would be, you know. I mean, it would be a little bit. You're not focusing on one spot. It seems a little bit too planned. You know what I mean? You do have a really.
I agree.
I can't, Andre. That's a really good observation that you made,
Well,
because it's something I've never really appreciated before. But it's 100% true. Just thinking about it, all the different counts that I've seen, especially Brian make, it is more flowing. It seems more realistic. That's a really good point.
The reason why I notice
Oh.
things like that, Brian, is you obviously know who Wayne Hart is.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten the luxury to hang with Wayne Hart quite a few times, and for our main event matches for Hart Legacy Wrestling, he was the referee for the main event. So he's actually pointed a lot out that most people wouldn't normally see pertaining and relating to wrestling. Especially being the ring announcer. Like at the end of the match, he gives me a sign, say it's a time limit draw or a double count out or whatever. You have to know what he's telling you, because it's too noisy in there to hear anything.
Right. I agree.
You know, are there little
Yeah,
signs that you give JB?
As far as the finish, what do you mean?
As your judgment?
Oh, no. Well, basically, all I do, you talking about a close false finish?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Basically, if it's real tight, I just quickly motion, no, it's only two, because I have pulled off bell ringer a couple of times, which is actually a pretty cool thing.
Get that false bell. Yeah, they love that in the back, I'm sure.
Yeah, when you're a referee and you're doing that, I mean, you're actually doing your job.
Yeah.
I mean, that's doing a good thing for the business itself. You know, the false finish, whatever you're trying to sell. So
that's pretty interesting. Andre, did you have another question?
I have a few more, as a matter of fact. This next one's regarding your dad.
Okay.
Why does your dad get the luxury of solely refereeing the beautiful knockouts matches? And do you think Scott D'Amore should be in charge of the knockout division like in good old times past?
All right. Well, let me do it like this. The amount of complications that can happen with your regular girls matches aren't as much as they can happen with some of your bigger matches. So, trying to say this correctly, because I appreciate all the art that the girls show us. Yeah. But at some degree, they listen better. They are more into I'm going to be able to handle a Bobby Lashley, which is the way I'm not saying I can handle Bobby Lashley. I'm just saying I'll be a better job at handling. Yeah. Than my dad would. My dad might just bro and break if he was to grab him. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you know, he is blessed to do the girls. I sometimes get jealous. But it is what it is. You know, and that's his job. He loves it. The girls love him. If you took Earl Hebner away from the girls, they would be so upset. You know what I mean? They would be so upset.
Andre just touched on a really good point talking about Scott D'Amore a little bit. There's a lot of change happening with Impact Wrestling. I mean, obviously, I've been trying to be real cognizant about using the Impact name because TNA is, you know, it seems like things are changing. And obviously you're a big part of that being, you know, a big referee within the company. Over the last year or so, the company has gone through a lot of transformations. What do you see going on right now for the transition from TNA to Impact, and what are the things that you would like to see going forward?
What I see right now is excitement. I have been with the TNA Impact family for, I may be off a little bit, but it's right at 8 years at this point. And I have never been excited to go to work ever since I've been with that company until I first got there. I'm excited about the changes. I love the changes. I think the changes are going to keep coming, and I believe they're going to be changes for the best. And I believe that we're going to get put back on this map where we were before, and it's going to be bigger than that.
Wow. I think there's certainly an opportunity for it. There's a hunger right now for a different type of product. I mean, we've seen it with people being open to, you know, the Lucha Underground style, and you guys have kind of gone in that direction as well with the broken storylines and all of that. It does seem like there is a feed for something different and something new. And I certainly hope with some of the changes and some of the people who are being brought in now to kind of guide the new era of Impact Wrestling, I'm hoping that's going to happen because I've been a fan of Impact for a very, very long time, and I know that Andre as well has been. So it's pretty exciting, I think. It's not always been easy to stick with it, but I think some of the people that have been longtime fans, I think they're going to be really happy with some of the changes, hopefully. Do you think that's a fair thing to say?
No, I think it's very fair. And I mean, to be quite honest, we're, you know, having a shoot interview here, and for many years we've had wrong people in the wrong places, and they're gone. Yeah. We've got right people in the right places, and we've got people that aren't in places that are going to be put in places that are the right people. And to me, that's a win-win. If I'm running a company, which I'm not, I'm trying to run my household, and that's hard enough anyway. But when you're running a company, you've got to put people in place that you trust and can do what it is, the job you're giving them. You can't just sit there and overlook something and not overlook it. It doesn't make any sense.
Right. I
always go back to an old tale, and this is the truth. And you know, I don't think I'm saying anything wrong. I'm just saying, but you know, Vince McMahon would never not be at, or involved in anything that's put on TV at all. Period. In the discussion. I've seen him with 2 broke legs walk to the ring, you know, and do it. I've seen him get in a wheelchair and be there the next day when most people couldn't even get out of bed.
Yeah.
that's what a true leader does with a company that wants to win, succeed, and make money. And to me, I don't know exactly everybody's position, so I'm not going to step on any toes, but I do know that the Anthem head there, that his name's Ed, he's business. I've sat there and
Ed
talked
Nordholm?
to him. Yes, sir. Great guy. He's serious about doing what he wants to do. He's got Jeff Jarrett helping him out. And if anybody has to question Jeff Jarrett's brain, then they just need to get one. And I can just tell you, the people, nobody works harder than Jeff Jarrett. And I can just be attest to that. I'm not trying to, no pun intended, I'm not trying to stroke him. I'm just saying, but,
Stroke, yeah.
no, I'm not saying funny. Towns before, 2 days before I was there, because he was there marketing, radioing, going to schools, doing this, doing that, doing what a person that cares about the business that he's in. And to me, that's unmatchable. To me, that's passionate, and that's what was missing in us, was we didn't have that passion. We were just a business. Now we're going to be a passionate business, and we're going to go out and do things for a reason and not just to put them out there.
Is Jeff coming back the big one? Is that the big change that you see being happening with Jeff coming back and bringing Dutch and some of the others with him? Do you see that being the big difference maker?
Oh, that's for sure. I mean, well, not only that, but with Anthem and Ed, I mean, that's huge. I mean, that's huge. It's people that really want this place to really be good. They really want this place to do something, and they're gonna put it out there for us, and it's going to be, it's going to be our turn. And us as performers, us as backstage people, Jeff Jarrett, everybody else, we got to do our jobs. It's serious time. And I like that part, because I think when you go to work, you should be scared of the boss. I think that you should be intimidated by your performance. I think you should be, there should be answers for things you do. And that's what was lacking with what we had going on. I don't know why. I mean, but it just kind of got that way. And I'm happy to have a leader, somebody cares what's going on.
Absolutely.
And now that we're on this topic, gentlemen, regarding Jeff Jarrett and leadership and whatnot, this last set of tapings at the Impact Zone in Orlando, Florida, were the last set of tapings under the guise of John Gabrick, right?
Well, yes, as far as, I guess, senior producer, I think. I don't know people's roles anymore. I really don't.
The rumors, the scuttlebutt that I've read is now John he's going from calling all the shots to now answering to Jeff. That's from what I understand.
Starting next set of tapings.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you guys know something I don't. That's okay. That's okay.
We read a lot of probably bad information, but we try to do our best.
Hey, all I know is this. I didn't. I mean, I'm being completely honest with you guys. I'm not saving nothing. I'm just saying I know nothing about that. I mean, if that's the way it goes, that's the way it goes. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to question that move.
Even if you were, I wouldn't blame you. The business doesn't get protected enough anymore anyway. So, I have no problems if you were favoring us a little bit.
I'm not cave-aiming you, though. I swear to God. But yeah, I would cave-aim you on something, that I didn't know that was really, really, earth-shattering. But I did not hear about this.
Sure.
Now, regarding what you do, Brian, nobody gets a closer look than you get. So my next question is, who is the number one person in TNA that you would consider a total package in the ring and out of the ring? And not to totally put you on the spot here, I'll give you two selections. Two people that, in your mind, are the ultimate total package in the ring and out of the ring in Impact Wrestling.
Ooh, wow.
That's a tough one, Andre. Damn.
That is tough, man.
Well, he gets a closer look than anybody.
That's true. He got the eagle eye view.
Well, let me ask you this. When you say outside of the ring, you talking about as an individual, or you talking about as outside the ring, like backstage, or just
like
in general?
Complete package.
Complete package.
I'll tweak that. Let's say in the ring and on the mic in the ring.
Well, Orma Mike's going to take this first one selection I wanted to take away, but I think he's got a lot better. Hard to beat is Bobby Lashley. A great guy, man. Honest, I mean, to God, he's a really good, hard-working dude. Is magnificent in that ring. I like him a lot. I think he's a great guy, and I think he's got to be one of the ones that I would have to say right now. Yeah, he'd be one.
I hope he's champion all year, Brian.
I think there's a very good possibility of him being champion for a long time again. Bobby's always had that amazing ability in ring, and it seems like the older that he's gotten, I mean, now he's getting into those golden years of his wrestling career. He seems to have really been able to put a lot together that I don't think a lot of people thought he was going to do younger in his career. I think moving outside of wrestling and going into MMA has actually helped him, which is not always the case. And Bobby Lashley, what he's doing right now, what he did in the past year, I mean, he was one of the big bright spots for, TNA at a time last year when there wasn't a lot of them. So I get nothing but respect to Bobby Lashley. I'm in agreement with you. I think he's one of those guys that people don't talk enough about.
Right. I agree. And then I guess I have to give you two because you said two.
Yeah.
Can I have a tie for a second?
Yeah.
You can cheat, bro.
We'll break the rules for you, Brian. Nobody else. We'll break the rules for you this one time.
Cool. Yeah, that's right. Cool. Break it for me. Give me a 5 count. I won't break, and then we'll just go with it.
Right.
No, I'm going to go with the Miracle and EC3 as a tie.
Okay, and let's add a woman in there too.
Add a woman? Well, that's easily going to be Gail Kim.
Oh yeah, hard to go away from Gail Kim. I think Gail Kim is probably going to go down as one of those stories that people are going to talk about, but not nearly enough. I think when all's said and done, WWE is going to regret not using Gail Kim the way she should have been used more than anybody else in the women's division, maybe in their history. They really missed the boat on that.
Let's not forget, Dave, she left on her own accord.
She did, which not everybody gets to do with that company. And, I mean, if I'm not wrong, they had her a couple times and just nothing.
2
runs, yeah.
Well, I can tell you this, and I mean this with all my heart. She is a complete package.
Yeah.
As far as being a worker, a backstage person, and a friend. She is awesome. You can't make, God couldn't create a better woman for what this industry has or needs. She's it, dude. I'm serious. And there's so much more that she can do that people don't have any idea. She just doesn't do it. You know what I mean? And I don't blame her. She's amazing. She's amazing. And I'm not saying there's not more amazing women out there. All I'm saying is you're asking me a question. I gave you a direct answer. And I'm telling you, Gail Kim.
No, I think it's a fair answer, too, because when you look at Gail, her in-ring work has never been questioned. She's incredible in the ring. She's underrated. I mean, you never got to hear it in WWE, but in TNA, obviously, you get to hear it a lot more. She's incredible on the mic. She's gorgeous. She's absolutely beautiful to look at. It really doesn't get too much better than Gail Kim. I just think it's unfortunate that she did not get her due justice in WWE. But as far as TNA goes, I mean, you start with Gail Kim.
If I remember correctly, she did get due justice in WWE. Wasn't she made a woman's champion almost instantaneously?
I don't even remember a title. I don't even remember that.
Bro, I believe she came in and won the... What?
She did.
Yeah, right away.
Man, I really don't even remember it. God, that's crazy. How long did the run last?
It wasn't long. It was, in my mind's way out of whack. So, I'm going to say 4 months.
Oh. Wow.
So yeah, she came in and boom on the top, much like Paige there, Dave.
Yeah. No.
So she did get her due in WWE.
You think that was enough? I mean, I like I said, I don't even remember it. That's crazy.
I tell you, somebody too while we're on that I think can be really good for us too. That works really hard. Is Laurel Finesse or whatever her name is. I'm not excuse. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep. Yeah, I've had the pleasure of interviewing her. She's a real sweetheart.
She is. She's a really nice girl. She's a beautiful girl. She cares about the business as far as what I've seen. Maybe I'm wrong, but I like my dad, he gets to talk with the girls a lot. Obviously, I get to talk to him, but I don't. He's with them all day and stuff, so I don't get to get the insights of that. But she seems like she's one that really wants it, and that to me that's important. When I look at people's faces and if they look hungry, it makes something to me.
And she does want it, Brian. This is a girl that graduated Lance Storm's academy and went back after touring the world just
You broke up there a little bit,
was
Andre. I'm sorry. I don't know if Brian heard all that. You broke up a little bit again.
I didn't hear it either.
Did I?
He broke up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he broke up.
Oh, I don't even know what you guys heard or what you didn't hear.
What I heard was that she went to school, something about school.
Yeah, she trained. She was trained by Lance Storm. Graduated Lance Storm's academy, went and wrestled all over the place, and then came back to train even more. So she's really hungry. Her real name, for fans who don't know who she was prior to Laurel Van Ness, is Chelsea Green. I had her on the show here last year, and she's very hungry. All of these Canadian women that are getting the chance to shine right now are really hungry. Courtney, Rosemary, Laurel. Just Canadian girls kick ass.
Well, let me.
You're not biased at all, Andre.
So Chelsea's Canadian?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why he's marking out.
He's not biased at all. There's no bias at all. I do think one of the things that you guys do have going on is a lot of the different type of women personalities that you have currently coming in. Obviously with Brandy, I think you have the best heel female worker in the business in Maria Kanellis. Every time that she's on the screen, just you gravitate towards her. It's just eyeballs just gravitate towards her. I think you guys have a lot going there. Do you see that being a strength going forward in this new era of Impact Wrestling?
She's actually amazing too. She really is. She's something special, not out of the box every day. She's into her character, like scary into it. Because if she was my freaking wife and she was flipping out like that, I'd freaking run. She's just really into it, and backstage, she's just the sweetest, nicest person. And you all have no idea how business smart she is for this business. No. It's incredible. She's no dummy, dude. No dummy at all.
She's also a very unbelievably hard worker. I mean, I've heard her in other interviews. She's still going to school. She's got her fashion stuff that she's doing. I mean, she's really putting a lot of stuff out there, and she's succeeding. I love what she's done. I'm not going to say I'm the biggest Miracle fan in the world, but I am a huge Maria fan. She's fantastic.
What's wrong with Miracle?
I've just never been the biggest Mike Bennett guy in the world. I can't get on the Miracle train. I guess I just don't see it. That's just me, though.
I think you're jealous. I think you're jealous because you don't have a girl.
I think you're right. You might be 100% right.
I like what Mike Bennett brings to the table, but just the guy's fashion and color coordination sense is just it's not on this earth.
There's another couple that are, I don't know if you know of these guys. This couple that I love. I've had them on the show. They're Memphis-based, Dustin and Maria Starr. I don't know if you know them at all. They're fantastic. They remind me very much. I think Dustin Starr is a better version of Mike Bennett, while his Maria may not be as great as Mike's Maria, but still really, really comparable couple. I don't know if you've ever heard of the 5-star couple, but they are fantastic. They're Memphis-based, and they're great.
All right, well, let me break this down for you guys real quick. I'm obviously older than I was when I was in WWE, older than I was when I started TNA. I now have like 100,000 kids and a house and a wife, and I don't really watch anything pertaining to wrestling other than my show, really? Unless I happen to get some extra time. I'm up and down these roads with travel baseball, basketball, my Girl Scouts, this, that. So I don't know who you're talking about.
Fair enough. No, completely fair. Completely fair. Just a very comparable couple. Let me ask you a question. I want to move this conversation on a little bit to something else.
Before we do?
Oh, Andre, please go ahead.
We were just talking about uber talented women and characters and really buying into 100% into the character and what you're putting out there. I think nobody touches Rosemary.
She's awesome too. I mean, she really is. And she might have been one that I should have probably mentioned too. I mean, in all honesty, very, very sweet girl backstage. Very down to earth. And she's another girl that works hard, man. She, you know, when you see people come to the gorilla position that really get, you know, to go out and do what they do, and you see a girl in her face and she's so focused and all that kind of thing, to me, like, if I'm running a business and I see that kind of thing, that to me, that just reeks of passion. Sure. And that's what she is. When I see guys go to the grill and act like, yeah, I'm going to go out here, you know, to me, it's like, fuck off, you know, you're not really like respecting what you're getting ready to do. So, like, that means a lot and takes a lot of miles from me as far as a person goes, is what they can do in this industry. And she's awesome too. Is she Canadian too?
Yeah, she is.
Of course she is. Of course she is. Andre would be talking about her if she wasn't.
God. You want to ask me about any more Canadians before we're done with this 15-minute segment here?
Angelina's also Canadian.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's good.
So is Ali.
Have you heard of Trish Stratus? I think she's Canadian too, right?
Oh yeah. She's probably the most famous one you guys have, isn't it? But Gail Kim's also Canadian, isn't she?
You betcha.
They all are.
Okay. All right. Well,
Andre's in heaven right now. He's in absolute heaven. Jesus, my God. He is
I don't even know why I'm dancing in front of the camera. I'm not even on screen.
Nobody can even see it.
At this rate, I'm waiting for him to start doing the chant, "Your dad screwed Brett. Your dad screwed Brett. Your dad screwed Brett."
Now, I was going to stay away from all of that stuff, and I probably still will. But I do want to move into something a little bit from your past a little bit, because you've been in WWE, and you reffed WrestleManias 18 through 21, if I did my research properly. Let me ask you, I mean, you've done some great events in Impact and everything, but what are your highlights from the granddaddy of them all, man? I mean, it's a different experience altogether. Can you share us a little bit of insight from those days?
I can. This is actually an easy question for me. There's two matches that to me will be unmatched. One will never be done again by any other referee other than me. And that's Hulk Hogan and Vince McMahon, WrestleMania 19, Seattle.
Yeah.
I was blessed to give that assignment. I was there a week prior, with nothing to do but a big booklet. It was up to me to get my shit together, or that could be it for me.
Right.
So as far as star power, you can't get any bigger than Vince versus Hogan.
Bigger, yeah.
And that's one thing I always rip my dad on. I'm like, you've done everything, but you didn't do this. Ha ha.
That's the ultimate trump card. That is the ultimate trump card.
My trump.
It really is.
That's my trump card. It's probably the only trump card I've got. But anyway, I'll use it. But then again, and then the other match would be Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels, and I don't know which was phenomenal, just phenomenal.
That was 21, I believe, right?
21. Okay, that's been 21.
I think it was 21. Amazing match. That's right. You did referee that. I can't even imagine the type of pressure that as a referee, which I do believe gets overlooked so many times, how important your job is to not only, to count the pinfall, but to maintain this flow, this realism, this storytelling. You guys are so important to that. And if a referee doesn't do his job properly, a lot of these times there's going to be a disconnect. With those two matches in particular, what type of pressure is on you to get that right?
Oh, it was unsurmountable pressure. It really was. It's just, man, you just have to have confidence. You have to have confidence, and if you're lacking or shortage of any of it, you're going to screw up, because there's just so much to memory. There's so much to the way you do things, and there's so much to the way that they want you to do things. That backstage, hour before our match, backstage with Hogan and Vince was just surreal.
I can imagine.
Was and I'm never going to expose anything, so I'm not that guy. So y'all can, not you. I know you wouldn't. I'm just saying.
No,
that's
never.
I'm starting what I'm saying. It was just surreal sitting in a room and trying to figure out what they wanted me to do.
Yeah.
But it's something that nobody can ever say that they've done, and I did it. I made it through. I did it great, and they were great. Vince came to me after the match and shook my hand and looked me dead in my face and said, "You did a good job tonight, son. I'm very proud of you." I mean, that to me, the night after WrestleMania, or actually the night of WrestleMania after the show, for the aftermania party, it doesn't get any higher than that. So, I'm blessed. I really am. I'm not confident. I'm not cocky. You know what I am? I'm blessed, and I appreciate every blessing God's ever given me, and I appreciate the opportunity that I've had.
Absolutely. Andre, did you have any more questions? I got one final one. I don't know if you have any more, Mr. Corbeil.
Now, this is a question, Brian, you're not going to get anywhere else. Now, as a guy that's in the business myself, do a lot of ring announcing, color commentary, all that shit. I'm not going to toot my own horn. What I'm getting at is when I wear dress shoes in the ring as a ring announcer, dress shoes, the footing is great in the ring. Now, I notice you're big on shoes. I got a question. The Ziggs, the Reebok Ziggs, or the Nike Shox, which I own both types of pairs, which one's better for footing? Because when I use the Nike Shox in the ring, it doesn't feel right in the heel area to me, like the way your footing goes. And you see this with the women in high heels. They have a very hard time in the ring keeping their footing and their balance. So,
wow,
yeah, in a nutshell, the Reebok Ziggs.
What a question. I love
the
this.
Reebok, and I'm supposed to be a professional.
Oh, I love it. No, I absolutely love it. I mean, maybe you did a stint at Foot Locker? I have no idea. That's a good question, Brian. Go ahead.
Okay, well, this is actually the no pressure question I've ever had. All right, so let me just say this: the Ziggs that I wore were my absolute favorites. But then I had a little deal that Nike wanted to do with me on Twitter.
Oh. And
they actually sent me a pair of shoes, custom, that had Baby Hebner on each of the back of my shoe that matched the ropes that I gave them the color, and told me they would give me 2 free pair a year. So I went with them because of the fact that I got shit free. So... It is
no one's going to hate on you for that.
I hope Nike doesn't hear this because I kind of buried their shoe.
Well, no, it's okay. It's okay because you know what? Just remember this. There's a saying in wrestling that's never more true, and it says, never tell the boys the shit's free.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah. I was in the Army for 9 years. That also holds true in the Army. Never let them know that it's free.
But yeah,
real quick, and I'll let you guys go. I swear to God. But back in the day when Frankie Kazarian was in TNA, and they were giving out T-shirts and CDs and stuff to all the boys, which I thought was really nice. Like really nice. You guys give you a couple shirts, get you some CDs, whatever. Frankie walks by there and he has his that only Frankie can do. His voice, and I know he's Canadian by the way.
Let's just get that out there now. Yeah.
Yeah, anyway. So he walks by and he goes, hey, are the CDs free? And the lady goes, yeah, they're free. He takes the whole freaking box and walks off. I thought it was the most hilarious thing I ever seen. And then as he walked away, he went, never tell the boys the shit's free.
You never. I had one more question, but I don't think we can go on a better note than that. Brian, I really appreciate your time. I know that your time is very valuable, and I appreciate you spending a whole hour with us tonight. Absolutely incredible. Andre, as always, man, you killed it as well. Any final thoughts for Brian or the people at home listening right now?
Brian, before the end of the year, we would like you to return on video on the Andre Corbeil Show at russosbrand.com. So I'm going to encourage you, I'm going to try and implore you to open up a specific type of account.
Okay, fair enough.
All right.
I'll do it for the show, and then I'll delete it.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, that'll work. That'll work out perfectly. Brian, thank you so much. Nothing but the best. We hope that Impact does grow and get to the point where just the competition breeds greatness. I mean, it's iron sharpens iron, and hopefully that's exactly what we're going to see. And I know you're going to be a big part of that. So again, thank you so much for your time. Please go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you on Twitter and any other projects that you'd like to get out there known. Floor is yours, my friend.
I'm pretty easy, man. I'm on Twitter, and it's at Baby Hebner. And I'm on Instagram, and it's at Baby Hebner. So Baby Hebner is the keyword, and it's on Instagram and on Twitter.
There you go. I hope you guys have enjoyed this very special edition of Ask Andre with our very special guest, Baby Hebner himself, Brian Hebner. Thank you guys very much for joining us right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Make sure you're checking out everything that's going on within the channel, including Andre Corbeil over on Andre Corbeil on YouTube, and of course Vince Russo's The Brand. And right here on YouTube as well, Vince Russo. Thank you guys very much for joining us. Like, subscribe, and share. And as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. We will see you next time. And peace.
Thanks a lot, Brian.
Hey, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.